Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, and let's see what do these tea leaves have to say today. All right, so our card for today is the Two of Wands, which has to do with dominion. Okay, about really kind of ruling over your space, conquer and rule your will. And really, I look at this card and I think a lot of, how should I say, when things come out of our psyche, right? When things, that have to do with the shadow kind of start to pop up in our lives, and we must make a decision. How are we going to face this? Or are we going to face it at all, right? There are decisions to be made, and choices. The choices are many, right? So, there's that aspect of contemplation, kind of doing the science, really looking at what the variables are, the circumstances, your emotionality, your intuition. It is a lot, right? But it is worthwhile work, okay? Because the card is not unlike the crossroads, okay? So a lot of inner communication is necessary, okay? All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. The first thing I saw, and this was, let's see, we have one here where it looks like kind of a cat right here and a person. It looks like the cat is kind of jumping towards this person. Oh, and their hand is back. They're maybe going to protect themselves. And here we see we have more of a struggle kind of ensuing between the two. Okay, so one being here, legs kind of hanging out, and the other person kind of here. And so, I feel that there's some internal conflict. There's a lot of emotionality right here, okay? It seems like, we're in a place where things have been going along pretty well, okay? Things have been working out. And suddenly it feels like, and it's with the large cat, we think of course, the lion. What came to mind for me was the mountain lion, okay? Where I grew up, we had to be careful because there were a lot of roaming mountain lions that would come from the foothills. So, definitely related to that Leo energy. So this is the internal conflict. Trying to figure out exactly maybe why are you getting in your own way? Why do we have certain blockages that kind of come up and affect the way that we live, the way that we react to things? Our openness, our ability to connect with other people. So many aspects of our life can be fully affected by things that we think, oh, it was, so long ago, it was in the past, or, this is how I grew up, so this is how I react to things. This is, I learned how to protect myself this way. And, as an older person, as an adult, these behaviors, coping mechanisms, and really just the way that we feel about ourselves in the world, they do not serve us any longer, right? I think that there's a big difference between being a person who has held on to the youthful awe of life and somebody who is immature, right? And we all know people, 45, 50, 60 years old, and they're very immature. Dramatic, or well, not dramatic, drama is what I should say. Dramatic's fine. I like dramatic. But somebody who causes problems on purpose, talking about each other, doing and saying nasty things, whatever it is. We all know those type of people, okay? Now, I don't think that's not what I'm saying about you, but I do think that something has come up where you're like, why do I feel this way? I've done so well lately. Things have really gone my way. Yet I feel what is it? Unfulfilled, listless, sad, melancholy. I'll tell you what, and it's something I've worked deeply on in therapy, and I have to continue to do so. Never am I more depressed than when I have been doing very well, when I have succeeded in my goals. And why? Why does that happen? A lot of reasons. It is something that we can work on, though. It's not a curse. It's not just how we are. It's something that, it's a coping mechanism. It's a way to protect ourselves. For me, I think it's when my expectations rise, I am afraid for something to fail. Because, listen, life changes. And any little problem, it feels like a big problem to me. And I don't want to feel let down. I'm scared to feel let down. But that's not a way to live. So, the good news is you are aware of this. You're aware of this entanglement with self. You're in a tangle with yourself, right? But you're aware of it. And so you can do something about it. And so we have, and this is interesting because it's just about Halloween, we have a little, it looks like the kind of stereotypical character of a witch with the little hat. We have some little animals next to her, maybe some bats. It almost looks like we have her little cauldron right here. All in all, the witch to me is, wow, of course, a truly feminist symbol. But, this is somebody who lives on the outside of things. Somebody who is on the fringe. Somebody who walks between worlds. Somebody who has eyes to see, ears to hear. Okay? And now this is in the emotional and physical sector. I don't think that this is necessarily you, but I think that you have somebody probably in your family line who is some kind of, and not a witch necessarily, but somebody who is a magical practitioner, somebody who is psychic clairvoyant. And I do believe that you probably have some of these traits. I think that you notice things more than most people. I think that you feel things way more deeply than most people do. And you might have some of those clairvoyant abilities. It's easy to kind of dismiss these things, right? One that I only recently have started to realize for myself is I smell things. I smell kind of impressions that are coming. I always just thought, okay, well, why does and I don't smoke, but once in a while, why do I smell ashes, like a smell of ash in my house? Well, now I've realized that I know that there are certain dreams coming and a certain entity within my dreams when I smell that. Okay. And of course I do the health check to make sure, make sure it's not health related. But first, then it comes and then I know. And these, you might never realize this. These might not be things that you really think of, oh, this is like this is some kind of ability that I didn't know I had. Well, I think that you have somebody in your family, or they have transitioned, but you knew, and maybe the family knew, this was a person who was very close to that unseen thing. They were, had their foot deep into the mysteries, their toe dipping in, right? And so you have this as well. Okay. And if you practice it or not, I don't know. And again, you don't have to be any kind of witch or, label yourself as that or identify as that. There are so many kinds of practitioners, aren't there? And so, this is maybe something to look into. Maybe this is a part of your life that for one reason or another is coming into consciousness. And I keep touching. Something to consider exploring more deeply. Now, you maybe already do. Maybe this is, your life's work. And that's a beautiful thing. And I like to leave these little messages. If you have a channel, if you do any kind of divination or, anything esoteric or occult, or you have a shop or something, please, leave a comment, share. We want to support one another. This is a community with lots of room for all kinds of practitioners and people who, run businesses that are in the spiritual and metaphysical and esoteric and occult sectors. And, I would love to see. I check out all of them. I do. And I need to make one of those small business posts again, because last time I did, I checked out so many people's different businesses and they were so cool. I felt really inspired by that. It's nice to know there are so many people doing what they love. And so, let's see. We also have a little dragon here, okay? And we have a person standing right beneath the sun, okay? Even kind of gazing upwards. Now, please don't go look at the sun. I always mention that whenever, I know you probably won't, but yes, don't do that. So the dragon, of course, we know that this is a symbol of protection, of intense loyalty, devotion, okay? But also can be related to bouts of anger, right? Very fiery energy. Now, we also have that wands energy. So this is definitely a good time to be using sublimation, right? What is sublimation? That is when we take things that are difficult, emotions, concepts, whatever, put them into art that becomes useful for us. It can become very cathartic, things, we see this a lot with like death, violence, these kinds of tropes, motifs in artwork and music and so on. And so any kind of emotional or intellectual or, spiritual disharmony, troubles, always a good time to try to put that into whatever you're creating, okay? To purge it, really, process it. We should not be carrying things all the time, right? It is important for us to speak, to utter, to write, to, whatever your medium, or if you put it into, the sciences, something more like your work, maybe you have a business, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be overt, right? But you put that energy into what you are creating, and that will be so helpful, okay? I can't emphasize enough how freeing the feeling is when you can get these things out of yourself, okay? And this is all about letting go of some of those blockages, beginning to unravel the things that kind of clog us up, okay? And so looking up the sun, illumination, okay? Looking towards a clear sky, dreaming, really in a place where concepts are coming together. There is a sense of, hope. Hope, I think, is really hopefulness and wanting to continue on, right? Growing, evolving. Okay, so we also do have the serpent here right in the middle, and I think this has everything to do with knowledge, okay? Definitely a place of kind of gathering your information, beginning the process of transmutation into wisdom. Okay, so I think this has to do a lot with the creative or business or work or whatever. Really, you are a person who is prepared for anything that you really care about and want to do. You become an expert at it, okay? And so this is where you get a lot of a feeling of wholeness, of achievement, ability, and that's a wonderful thing to have. Plus the drive behind it, the motivation, so important. And then we have a boat right here. So in the emotional there and moving towards the metaphysical. So I really do. I see you, moving out of some of the more physical interests and getting further and further into your self-work. And I think this is where you're going to find a lot of balance, okay? And it seems like in the next cycles, this will be something that really kind of comes together for you. And I'm interested to hear about what does this look like to you? What kinds of things are you interested in? What are you reading? What kind of practices are you partaking in? And then the last one I want to look at, we have, it looks like a large eye. Okay. And so I would say, all eyes on you. No, I think that really though, the universe, your ancestors, the kind of, otherworldly support system that you have, they're really there. Okay, they're holding you, watching what you do and cheering you on. And that's, and you feel that. I do. I think that you have a deep respect for your line of people. And I think that you live in such a way that you honor that respect and you honor those intelligences, those beings. Okay. And let's see, what do we have over here? So we do have a sword, okay? And so I think, with all of the things going on, I think that there will be a swift decision. I think that you will have a moment where you think, this is it, right? This is the exact way that I want to go. This is the thing that I'm going to put my time and energy into, and it will be so clear to you. There's a sense of clarity, just a cutting decision, right? No, not a lot. You know, you might feel like you're like kind of toiling in, you know, trying to figure out which way to go, but then it will come to you, and you will know fully. Okay. Other than that, I just see that there just seems to be a sense of people kind of coming and going recently, not really getting to spend a lot of time with the people that you would like to see, would like to be with. And so that can be, you know, disheartening in some ways. But I think this is all in line with you kind of really turning towards this interior work. Okay, so it makes sense to me that maybe you're not spending as much physical or even, you know, just chatting online or whatever. You're not really engaging with people directly as often. Okay, now we're going to use the Dreamer's Deck 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. Okay, and I'm just going to stop where it feels right. We're going to see. It says, I know that worry only blinds me from the beauty that is all around me. I am not stressing. There we go. This is, and I think this has all, like, everything to do with that sword I saw. When it comes to you, it's just there. You just know, you know, in your soul. And the stress, you know, all the stress does is it muddies up our vision. Okay, we start to question ourselves. We don't always trust, like, hey, I know I got this and the universe has me and everything's going to be as it should be. But it will. Okay. And you know that. I know you do. So, Leo, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And the algorithm, that's what is, you know, that's what decides what happens with the channel, really, and all of the channels everywhere. So, you know, things like liking the video, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, sharing the readings on other social media platforms are supposedly, anyways, from what I read, the best ways to help you know, get that algorithm favoring us here at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from each and every one of you. You all are amazing and wonderful, and you know, really the reason that I do these readings, obviously it's for you. So yeah, I just I really enjoy the community that has started to emerge from having this channel, and I feel like I've made some good friends already, and it's one of the blessings of my life, definitely. So anyways, I want to thank you again, and we will talk in just a few days. All right. Love you.